Hey guys, hello and welcome to a live session after a very, very long time. My name is Arun Jacob. I am a licensed immigration advisor for New Zealand. I live in the beautiful city of Hamilton in New Zealand, and yeah, we are now in the month of June and it's getting slightly colder, and we are beginning to experience some great weather. But right. The reason I'm doing this live is I'm trying to be smart because I received a lot of questions on my Quora, and I thought it'll be easier just to answer them here, and then my team can cut them and chop them up and make them into individual answers. So here we go. Let's see what I have to answer. So these questions are all from Quora, which have been asked on my, and so there were a lot of questions. So I'm just going to go try and go one after the other. Okay, first question number one. Is it possible to work for a US company while living in New Zealand? Absolutely, no problem about that. How do taxes work? Please go to, if you are getting paid from a company in New Zealand, if from a company in the US and you're only residing in New Zealand, I do believe that there is a double taxation arrangement between New Zealand and the US. So if you're paying taxes on your income in the US, then you'll be exempt from it in New Zealand. But if your income is coming into New Zealand and you're paying a tax in New Zealand, then it should be exempt in the US. That's my understanding, but you can definitely work for a US company while living in New Zealand. And as regards to taxes, I'd say best is to seek some professional advice from a chartered accountant because I'm a licensed immigration advisor and not a chartered accountant. Okay, cool. Next question. I have 13,000 dirham savings. Is it enough to get a New Zealand tourist visa? So I did a good question. I did a quick conversion of dirhams to New Zealand dollars. So 13,000 dirhams is about 5,500 New Zealand dollars. It's not a lot of money, to be honest. And some people, some visa officers might look at it and say you don't have a lot of savings, so they might suspect your motive to come to New Zealand. Unless you're in a well-established job and you have been working there, there's a regular salary coming in, and you're investing your salary into something else, and that's why your savings is only 5,500. So in that case, it can consider. It depends on how you present your visa application and what proof you put in there, plus a good covering letter. And that is where you can talk to someone like us at AJV Global, uh, ajvglobal.com. Just go there, you'll find all the details. And yeah, we can advise you whether you can apply for a visitor visa or not with 13,000 dirhams. Okay, cool. Next question is, what are my chances of being offered a job as a primary school teacher in New Zealand as a foreigner from the UK who is a qualified primary school teacher with 2 years of work experience? Okay, this is a good question, and I am going to quickly check. I don't think you require to be registered. I think, of course, you will need to be registered with the Teachers Council of New Zealand to practice as a teacher here. But if you are from the UK, I'm thinking you may not need to pass any other exams and other things. So I'm quickly going to the section on the website of the Teachers Council, which says, oh, how do I get my document certified? How do I apply? So I think only teachers from Australia are allowed to practice in New Zealand. There is something called the Trans-Tasman Mutual Recognition Act. And so that gives the teachers in Australia to gain equivalent professional recognition and be employed as teachers across New Zealand. And I think for everybody else, you will need to get the registration. How to apply for registration and all those details are mentioned on teachingcouncil.nz, which is our teachers council. But it can be a long process. So again, I would suggest the possibility certainly exists, and you have a very bright chance because you have been trained in the UK and also have 2 years work experience there. So talk to us at AJV Global. Send us an email, info at ajvglobal.com, or just ping us on Facebook, many places, and we will talk to you and try and help you out. Okay, cool. Okay, next question is how can I be a visual arts teacher for both primary and secondary schools in New Zealand? Same answer which I just gave. To be a teacher in New Zealand at the primary or secondary, you need to be registered with our teaching council, and not everybody is allowed to, with their overseas qualifications, will be allowed to come and get registration straight away. As I just mentioned, it appears that only Australian trained teachers can get direct registration in New Zealand. For the others, there is a process which is clearly outlined in the Teaching Council of website of New Zealand. But you can either go there or you can talk to us at AJV Global, and we will guide you through that. Okay. Next question is why did riots break out in New Zealand? I'm not sure what. Oh, you're probably talking about. Okay, you're probably talking about the occupation at Parliament, where some anti-mandate protesters went and camped in the grounds of Parliament, and the police had to evict them forcibly from there. That is the only riots I have, kind of come across in New Zealand. I've been living here since 2001, so I think that's pretty much it. But that's all over now. Riots broke out because there were certain people who were saying government should not mandate vaccination for COVID and things like that. But it's all done, dusted, forgotten, no longer in the news here in New Zealand. We are back to the peaceful country that we have always been. Cool. Next question. My brother has a New Zealand long-term shortage skills visa until 2024. He submitted one of residency application and on March 1st. He currently resigned from his company with 2 weeks notice. How will this affect his residency application? Okay, this is a good question. And being currently employed is not really one of the primary requirements to get the one-off residence visa. It is There's also a time element to it. So if you've lived in New Zealand for a particular period of time, then that is good enough. You necessarily don't have to be employed with a particular company. But if this is a good company and he has been getting paid well, and if we quit, it'll be good for him to talk to us. I would say let him pick up the phone and give us a call on our toll free number 0800 6969777, and one of our licensed immigration advisors will walk you through, give a free consultation, of course, get all the details and offer better advice. But to the best of my knowledge, resigning from this company really should not affect his one off resident visa if he has already been in New Zealand for a period of time. Okay, cool. Next question. I unintentionally forgot to mention my US visit visa refusal in my work permit. I'm looking to apply for INZ RV21, and this application has same question regarding visa refusal. Should I mention this in my application, or will it have any consequences? I think the thumb rule with any immigration department, whether it is New Zealand or anywhere in the world, is always be honest, be truthful, because these are government departments. They have access to information that you think they may not know, but they have access to information. In fact, I know for a fact that the five countries, US, Canada, UK, Australia, and New Zealand, they share information from one amongst all of them, especially immigration data. So it will definitely get flagged that you had a refusal. So always be honest, apply for it. And again, I said, please call 0800 696 and speak to one of our licensed advisors. We can also try to understand why you had to, or forgot to mention it in your previous application, and see if there might be any repercussions and how we can overcome it. Okay, cool. Okay, the ninth question is how can I get direct employment or someone to sponsor me to New Zealand because of a job? I'm from Nigeria. Okay, I have made a video on this channel. Just go and search for a video called How Can I Find a Job in New Zealand? And I kind of spent 5-10 minutes explaining why it is almost difficult for anybody to find a job directly in New Zealand without being present in the country. So have a look at that video. But my advice to you would be consider coming in as a student into the country to do a master's, because once you do that master's here on a valid student visa, then you will get a 3 years post-study work visa. And because then you'll have 4 years in the country, you should be able to apply for jobs, and then somebody will give you a job offer. It's highly unlikely anybody will give you a job offer directly without you being present in the country, unless you have some extraordinarily big skills like a rocket scientist, or the guy who can find the next Microsoft or Google or something like that. So yeah, my advice would be consider the student pathway, and which will give you, as a master student, which will give you 3 years post-study work visa. And in that, you can apply for jobs and get a job. And if it's a good job with the right pay, you can also apply for residence in New Zealand. Right, last question for this session, question 10. Can we apply on 120 points for a New Zealand visa? So I think your question is really about the skilled migrant category, because that's the only one which has got the point system attached to it, because you have not mentioned what is the visa you're looking at. But I do believe the moment you mention points, it can only be the skilled migrant category or the entrepreneur work visa. So there are certain visas to which the points are attached to that particular category. So your question is not clear which particular visa category you're asking for. So again, I would say send us an email at info@hjvglobal.com, or talk to us on toll-free numbers. In New Zealand, we have a toll-free number, and in India, but you can reach out to us from anywhere in the world. Just reach out to us, because we work with many, many global clients. Reach out to us. We will try to see which pathway you're looking at and whether the points you are claiming are true or not. We will do a professional calculation as licensed immigration advisors, and then we'll go forward from there. So that's it, guys, for today. Long time since I went live, but I thought this is an easier way of answering questions from my previous Quora feed. However, there is one question in this chat from Avinash Kumar, who says, what is the job opportunity of software engineer in New Zealand from India? A very, very good, Avinash. Information technology is in one of our long-term skill shortage areas. It's also in our future identified future growth areas. So very good opportunities. But again, it depends on what pathway you need to find, whether you're going to come as a student and then move into a work visa and work, or whether you're going to apply for something called the accredited employer work visa, or other, there are various other categories that you can look at. So Avinash, just if you're based in India, we have a toll-free number there, which is, I think, 1-800 65 something. Just go to our website, Avinash. Actually, let me see if I can go to the website. And yeah, our toll-free number in India is 1-800-103-6525. So yeah, just give a call to our team, Avinash, and have a chat, and yeah, they will do very well. Srijal also asks, guys, I was about to go and have dinner, but I'll quickly answer this. Srijal also asks, sir, what is the scope of data analytics in New Zealand? Very good, Srijal. I think, again, like I said, anything in IT, information technology, and especially something like data analytics or big data or data mining, and well, yeah, all this will be fantastic opportunities, Rachel. Again, it is a question of deciding what pathway will be the best pathway for you. Do you come as a student and then get into the work visa and then into residency, or are you able to apply directly for work visa? These are all the details we need to analyze and check and give you honest advice. So looks like both of you are based in India. So please call our toll-free number, which is 1-800-103-6525. We have a big team of people working in India, including licensed immigration advisors. And once you come to New Zealand, also we have a big team, including myself, who can support you. So yeah, hopefully that was useful, guys. All the best. Avinash and Rachel, please pick up the phone and talk to our team in India. Free of cost. There's no money we charge you just to give information, but we have some really, really good expert advisors. All the best, guys. Talk to you soon again. Bye bye. Good night.